Hey folks, welcome back to the shop. Thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit. I'm going to do some work on the lathe today. And don't worry, this isn't going to become a turning channel only. It's just what I'm doing right now. Still learning this, but I still got other stuff I need to do too. So it's not going to be a turning channel only. Don't worry. Just don't worry. Anyway, someone gave me this beautiful piece of spalted maple. And the wife took one look at it and said, "You're making me a bowl." And I said, "Well, I can't turn a bowl that big." And she said, "You're lying because you told me that the headstock on your lathe turns." I had no argument for that. But I'll bring you in and I'll show you some of the challenges that I ran into with trying to set this up. So on this particular lathe, the headstock does in fact turn. As you can see, it's turned now. And they were nice enough to give you the attachments that you need to do what you need to do. The problem is one of the complaints that I've read about with this particular lathe is that the motor sticks out too far. So this is the cooling fan, which has a cover, and I didn't put it on. I had to take it off because I was rubbing against it. I have three 1-inch washers back here that this is screwed into. Is it janky? Yeah. Am I going to do it anyway? Yeah. I think my plan for today, because I can't be out here very long, is to just get this round and get this side finished and sort of get a shape so that I can get it spun around and put on here the way that it's supposed to be. That's the goal for today. So I do have this little bit of bark right here that the wife would love to leave on there if possible. I don't know if I'm going to be able to or not, because let's face it, round is round. I don't know if it's going to work. My goal first, if I have some room, is to just get it round. Try and get it round. That's what I'm going to try and do first. There's nothing about this that feels comfortable. There's a window right there if this thing comes flying off, but conceivably it shouldn't. Conceivably. Let's see what happens. We've got some work to do. Okay, so after further review, what I've had to do is obviously I've added some weight to the base of the lathe in the form of those two giant boulders. And then I took the workpiece back to the bandsaw and tried to round it up a little bit more, put it back on, and it was no better. So I turned the headstock 1/4 turn, and it seems to be better. I'm at least to a point where I'm comfortable enough putting a tool up against it. But in full disclosure, I'm going to turn the camera off for this part. And once I get it rounded up and ready to start cutting, we'll go from there. Okay, so I got it kind of rounded. And this wood's in not as great a shape as I would have hoped it was. But yesterday I got it rounded up semi. I got it marked for a mortise, but I got to cut that out. I'll bring you in and let you look at this. I don't know what this bowl's going to look like when I'm done. So this wood has a lot of this, which is beautiful, but it's got a lot of this too. That's a giant crack, and that's what I would call punky. You know, I don't know what else to call it. I don't know if there was a branch that was coming off of there or what, but the grain seems entirely different than the rest of it. This is where that bark used to be. I'm going to try and save that. And then again, kind of have some of that, you know, I know it's end grain, but it's really giving me problems. I'm looking at the rings here, so I'm not on the pith. That's not the problem. But we're just going to keep turning it and see what happens. Oh, forgot to press record, but I now have a mortise in there. I'll start shaping the outside of it, get it flipped around and put it on a 4-jaw chuck. That's what I'm trying to get to. I don't love it. Okay, got it rounded, got it, put the finish on, got my recess made for the chuck, and it fits in the chuck and it stays solid, so that's good. I always mark my depth so I don't go too far. That's what we're going to do now. Sure. Get in there. There we go. So far, so good. Okay, just stab some finish on this. And in classic form, that crack is going to be a nightmare. Okay, so there it is, complete. It's gorgeous, but it's a nightmare. This bowl fought me every inch of the way. And the only thing I can figure is because this is all missing and this is missing, it was always out of balance. But you can't argue with the color. No bark, but I left that in there. Hey, this little guy here, this is the very first bowl I ever made an attempt to make. I think I have progressed. Anyway, thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate it. I'm glad you came to hang out with me for a little bit. God bless you, and I'll see you on the next one.